Okay, folks, I'm going to try a list I have here of all of the different clues that I've solved. I'm going to try to give a brief rundown of every single one of them put together real quick. So the people that just come in watching the videos now, they have some kind of idea, it's Boston, folks, an idea of what the actual solve is from a lot of the clues and things that have been put out there. Just so you all know, it's a little bit extensive list. I'll try to do this quick, and it's in random order. Okay, just to let you know, the very first clue, number one, the very first line in the poem is "I have gone alone in there." There is your search area, and if you watch my videos, I explain why there is, and there is the reason you're supposed to give the child to a poem to read. The poem to read. I'm a little excited. I already made the other video. I'm on my third coffee. There we go. So, give the poem to a child to read. That's why there. Because the second there, they will pick up on it. We won't. But that's pinpointing your area. Anyways, number two, the end of Forrest's rainbow. That is the fire pit. That is the actual blaze, which is another clue in here I wrote down. But the actual fire pit is the end of Forrest's rainbow. When he would catch his fish during the day, make that 500-foot climb up on top of that ridge that's hidden, and cook his fish at the end of the day. That was his supper, the end of his rainbow. His rainbow's end. Anyways, number three, all the postmarks. I already went over that. That was Devil's Mailbox, right in Palisades Hill. That search area. Even the lady in the book that he said staring out the window as if she was waiting for the postman or something. The window is the sill, Palisades Hill, staring out the window as if she's waiting for the postman. How much more of a clue can you fit in together for that? Anyways, I'll keep going because I'm sure I'm going to get a ton of questions. What is the true blaze? That is the fire pit. People have said before. What direction is it facing? Forrest said it wasn't facing any direction. It's just lying on the ground. Someone asked, if you remove the blaze, what happens? Forrest said, you can remove it, but it's not feasible to remove it. If you take a fire pit that's there and a certain fire pit built, if you take those rocks and it's gone, it's not feasible to take the blaze. Anyways, I'll move on. There's a lot more involved with it. Number five, hint of riches new and old. I already went over that. That is the delineation in Palisades Hill. That the new rock and the old rock in order. Hint of riches. I can keep my secret where, and hint of riches new and old. That first whole half of the canyon that you drive through is all new quartzite. The second half after Palisades is all the old protozaic rock. That's a simple one. That was the pinpoint, the definite pinpoint of where Palisades Hill was your search area. Anyways, double omegas. Let's try that one. I haven't posted it yet. It was in one of my way back videos of double omegas. One direction coming in the canyon, you have that big circle that comes down with an arrow showing you got a huge curve. The other direction, same thing. It's a big curve. Those are the double omegas, in my opinion. And what I just said in the video you're going to see that's coming out right now as I'm doing this one. It's all interpretation. So, there's your double omegas. Anyways, moving on. Where warm waters halt. That is Agua Fria Peak. And you know, I didn't bring this up either. This is another point to make. There's a couple of different things. When Forrest has his clues he puts out there, this is what it could be. Because people said, for T.S. Eliot, when you start somewhere and you end up back where you started, this could fit that also, as far as it's an angel fire. So at the end of everything, when you end up back where you're supposed to be, that when Forrest is going to rest next to the fire pit, Because he put the cross down, he's not going to climb up. Those are other clues to find where the treasure was. But he's not going to go up to 500 feet to the fire pit. But that fire pit, if he's passed away there, he's an angel. That's a fire pit, angel fire. That could fit that too. I use it as T.S. Eliot, and this is I'll get to. Hold on. All right, past that one. We'll Take It in the Canyon down. That's right down Cimarron Canyon. Easy one, not far, but too far to walk. 23 miles from Agua Fria Peak over to home of Brown, which is Eagle's Nest. Look it up on MapQuest. And then the 8.3, which is more than 8.25, down to Palisades Sill. That's the biggest. That's another huge one, folks. People still aren't seeing it. Whatever. I'm just putting this out there. Put in below the home of Brown. That's the home of Brown is Eagle's Nest, and it's put in below that. From there, it's no place for the meek. That's where your rock structure changes into intrusive igneous rock at Palisades Sill. And intrusive is the main word, the key word in the book that actually he put it in the first book, he put it in the second book. Obtrude, intrusion, intrusive. He put them in the book in Flywater, and he put it in the book, I believe, when he was talking about the limousine in the second book, when the guys come in with all the suits. He used the word in there, that one word in the book that, look up the word, it pulls up intrusive igneous rock. There's your one important word in the books. The third book, no idea. Don't care. All right. There'll be no paddle up your creek. That verse is in there because you don't go down to the creek. You stay where you're at when you figure out the map in the poem. Okay? Don't go down to the creek. Just heavy loads and water high are the only thing down there. The heavy loads are gravel pit lakes, and the water high is that one lake that's higher than the other two. Only by 5 or 6 feet, but that's water high. So, don't go down. Don't go down to the Maverick. Anyways, if you've been wise and found the blaze. When he says that quote in the poem, that's because everything's done. You've done your map. You've done your searching. You don't need to look anymore. You're wise enough where you found the fire pit, done 23 miles as I did in that small area in 3 days. That's how I found it. So that's what, and if you've been wise and found the blaze means. And 16, look quickly down. That one stumped me for 2 years, folks. That's why it took so long after Forrest's hunch. And it is what it is. When you're at that fire pit, you have 6 feet over down into the ravine, a chase, which I thought it was in there. Was not. I looked down the canyon because look quickly down. He says earlier, take it in the canyon down. So I correlated that. Did that for the whole summer. And at the end of that, when I finally sat in my car and said, I'm done again, just sat in the parking lot and I looked at the cross and realized it. That's it. Genius. Anyways, all right. Look quickly down. Your quest to cease. That's the big one, folks. That's another huge one that tells you, like the people that really want to see this, to look quickly down. Your quest to cease. Okay, this is where T.S. Eliot comes in, because he says, look quickly down. Your quest to cease, but tarry scant with marvel gaze. Just take the chest and go in peace. That cease is you're at the end of your exploring, just like T.S. Eliot said. But you're going to end up back where you started at the parking lot. Just look at it this way. Cease is there in T.S. Eliot, and cease is in his poem. You correlate those together, and you end up from the blaze on the ridge. Look quickly down the steep hill in the front. The one true look quickly down out of the 3 that I had. And then you come back down to the parking area, which is 500 feet away. Cross Tarry Scant, go across that little parking lot, and take the chest and go in peace. Because it's sitting right there with Kent and Esther, folks. Then my time is up on my 10 minutes. Okay, back. That was so quick. Uh, anyways, that's what that means. That's where your cease comes in. It's both together. They correlate together at the end of that poem, in the poem together, where they both meet, and then you come down and you find the cross. Cease is huge, fitting in where it fits in. As I said, folks, every clue I solved is in order, like Forrest said, to keep it in order. Okay, let me go on because I still got a few more. Terry Scanton with Marvel Gaze. I just explained that. I don't need to go over that again. Just take the chest and go in peace. I've done it tired and now I'm weak. He did it when he was a kid. No problem. Climb up 500 feet after fishing all day, eat his fish, and a rainbow. Now he's too weak. So what's he going to do? He's going to hide it somewhere down below in Palisades still. His favorite spot when he was a kid. Way before the state park was registered as a state park. Okay. I've done a tired night. So hear me all. That has a multiple different things it could be. The echo off from up on that ridge when you're in front of Palisades Hill. I'm not even going to go into that. I'm not saying I solved every clue correctly. Your effort will be worth the cold. I just went over that, I believe, in my last video about there's two possibilities. Digging up the cold grave for Kent and Esther, which so many people are so happy that I had somebody take a cross off of the side of a parking lot. You'll see why, folks. But don't get too angry and excited about it. All right, your effort will be worth the cold. Or, as I said in that video, or in the picture with the graveyard, it shows him sitting in as a kid, surviving myself. There's a graveyard he says he goes down to, which is 1 block north from where that fire pit is. North, you go right past the block of cement, and the cross is right there. It all fits exactly. Why throw north in there? And I would climb out my window. So it all fits together. Some people are probably going to see a lot better from this video right here. All right, Braven in the Wood. Now, he says what he's about that picture about going into the cemetery at night. He says it took guts to go in there when there was no moon and or whatever he said in there. But he said it took guts to go in there at night. That's why I correlated that together, to go in to dig that cross up. Because you don't want to get caught digging up a cross area where in the middle of the day in Cimarron Canyon you're going to get arrested, which is the reason I didn't go there. And I had my friends take the cross. Friends. So, Braven in the Wood. But in the wood, if you look up the definition of palisade, it's a wooden structure, a wooden fence. You're brave and in the wood. You're in Palisade. It's your other pinpointing thing to Palisades Hill. There's so many things to pinpoint Palisades, folks. I give you title to the gold. Jack has the title right now. He dug it up. He was the brave one. No matter how backstabby it was. I'm not disputing Jack has the treasure. He dug it up. That's not what I'm disputing here, folks. I'm just putting the actual real solve from the man from the east that Forrest knew solved the poem. Believe it or not. Alright? Ripley would know. Anyways, more than 8.25 miles. I just explained that. Eagle's Nest, pull it up on a map to Palisades Hill. 8.3. More than 8.25. What is that pinpoint? Palisades Hill. Okay, moving on. My prehistoric friends. That little story about that. He has a 200 foot. I stayed 200 feet away from them. I put in one of my about 2 or 3 videos ago. I put in that little sign at the bottom of Clear Creek that says 200 feet and has an arrow pointing towards Clear Creek, but it's pointing down the canyon. That's the 200 foot clue that he wanted people to get, but that was gone when somebody drove over it 3 years ago. The whole sign was knocked right down, and that little sign was gone. But my prehistoric friends, Monte Verde is a lake right on the other side of Angel Fire. Monteverde is, as far as prehistoric remains and people finding things in Monteverde, the oldest known, I think at one point, the oldest known prehistoric people found was at Monteverde. Way, wherever it was. I don't remember. I have the paperwork. I'm not going to look it up. It's not that important. But that's how that correlation's there. He brings it all together. That's what my prehistoric friends are associating with. My prehistoric friends, Monteverde Lake. That's my opinion. It's my opinion. These are all opinion, right, folks? Because I don't have the chest. Jack stole it. Mountain Men and Mountain Man Wisdom. He has the story Mountain Men, and he also has a story Mountain Man Wisdom is what he uses in the second book. But the first book, he says, talking about the Mountain Men and shooting the black powder gun into the $100 bill. He says, I hid behind a large ponderosa. That's where ponderosa comes in. But as far as the Mountain Men, when you are driving down the canyon, you go right through Palisades Sill. You just go beyond it, but you're still around the same corner. There's an old man face in the mountain right there. For those that don't know, that haven't done Cimarron, that old man face that he brings up in both stories, just like he does Ponderosa, just like he does Maverick, just like he did the poker game for blackjack camping. That mountain man face, that old man face, is both of these correlation. And he has it in the first book and the second book. And if whoever read the third book, you tell me if he has something about mountain men or mountain man wisdom in the third book, because I didn't read it. I didn't need to. Anyways, a couple more. Maverick, it's in the first book, it's in the second book. It's where the gravel pit, the heavy loads and water high are. That's where the heavy loads and water high are. What is the chase? The chase is the ravine that you will have a hard time finding unless you... I explain it quickly. I'll try. I did it in another video. But when I found the blaze and I worked my way back down to the road looking for the treasure because it might be sitting on the ground, it took me 15 minutes to figure out how to get back up there without climbing the steep hills on the side and everywhere else. But then when I finally got in deep enough, when you cross that parking lot, and as I said before, folks, don't go in the chase now. It's too dangerous. Don't. Go around if you're going to try this and see where Forrest's actual blaze was. But as you go into the back area, up across the parking area, you're going to have the steep hills. Stay to the right, like you're going to go up the power lines, but don't go up the power lines, that path. Stay to the left of it, and it'll bring you to the entrance of that chase. That is the in there, as I've gone alone in there. Actually, real quick, my first time when I did find and started going in there, as I entered that entrance area for the actual chase, a blast of cold air hit me in the face. That was like, that gave me a chill. It was like a 10-degree difference from that chase. And I searched right there because I thought that was the spot. There's many different places I searched in that whole canyon. Everywhere else, like everyone else did. I went up Jasper and Agate Trail, way up to the top of the mountain. I did Clear Creek. I did all parts of that canyon. But anyways, that's what the chase is. That's the beginning. That's the area. That wasn't Braven in the cold. That wasn't the cold clue. So, okay, next one. Agate Marbles is the Jasper Agate Trail. The Eliot quote. End up back where you started. I've explained this in that last video about T.S. Eliot. Quest is in his statement. Quest is in the poem. It fits perfectly. Your quest is done. When you look down that steep hill, your quest is done. You're done. You don't need to search anywhere else. Your quest is done. Tarry scant, marvel gaze, just take the chest and go in peace. He's telling you, folks, that's where it is. It's the end of the poem. That's where you hit the treasure chest. If it doesn't fall into place for you, I am truly sorry that you can't see this all fit. but it does. It's the end of Forrest's poem. Okay. One important word in the books, which was intrusion, I just mentioned earlier, talking about one of the others. That's the most intrusive, obtrude, and you get it. Anyways, canasta, the big controversy. Why would I take? You all know that one. It's the cross. Kent and Esther put together, meld the names from the cross together, and you come up with Ken and Esther, which is on the cross. Canasta. I might as well say home plate canasta. I'll let that one go again. Why you have to start at the beginning? Because that's the first poem. That's the first clue to solve this poem. Start right at the beginning. As I have gone alone in there. How many times has Forrest said it? 80 times in different interviews. Start at the beginning, start at the beginning, start at the beginning. Everybody thinks the first clue is begin at where Walmart's halt. Forrest does a play on words. That is the first clue to the map, not to actually find the treasure. So he, just like he said, put it this way, the treasure was found in Wyoming. He has something that he knows. He can say that and still get away with it. Because he plays on words, folks. But the treasure was literally found in Palisade Sill in New Mexico. So, next one. With my treasures bold. That was him carrying his rainbow trout up to the fire pit and cooking them at night. Would you feel comfortable sitting in a fire pit in the middle of nowhere with nobody around, with fish in the cooking up with that smell, and mountain lion and bear around? It's going to be you have to be pretty bold. So, that's that one. 200-foot clue within, I've already explained that 200 foot. I'm not going to go over that. I can keep my secret where, and I've already said that too. I can keep my secret where and hint. It's only a hint. It doesn't use up the clues in that whole first stanza. That first stanza, there's one clue, as I've gone alone in there. The rest is just a hint and a pinpoint, as I've gone alone in there. So, that's your main clue, folks. Anyways, the true map to marry with the poem, that would be Palisade Sill, Palisade Park, Palisade Sill in Cimarron Canyon. That, you marry that from this right here, it all lines up perfect. That's your map. That's the map that he was talking about, folks. You line it up, lines up perfect. Marry it to it. You'll see. Anyways, moving on. 8 lines of the map. I already went over that. First clue, nailed down. As I showed in one of the other pictures. The cross has one nail going through it. And a captain at my work pointed this out to me. He goes, hey, you said if you have the first clue nailed down, that nail is banged right down at the end. I'm like, yeah, I didn't even realize that. But that's what leads you to that cross. If you can't figure out the first clue, if you don't have that nailed down, you might as well stay home and play canasta. That nail is nailed down on the sign of canasta. Ta-da! Surprise! Anyways, I'll give you a few more. Why would you let a child read the poem? Because of the word there. People don't get it. As I've gone alone in there, and then he pinpoints again, from there. It's no place for the meek. I don't even think I went over it. It's no place for the meek. Maybe I did. That's where the rock structure changes. Intrusive. So it's no place for the meek after you pass Palisades. That's why from there, where he hid the treasure, it's no place for the meek. It's all intrusive, igneous rock. Look up the word intrusive. Okay. And then the J.D. Salinger, I explained that. J.D. Salinger has the quote. It's North America. We say it. A hand as dead as canasta. How much more dead can you get than Kent and Esther together in a grave? And then the last one that I just put out recently, the Two people can keep a secret if one of them is dead, right? Right, folks? Two people can keep a secret if one of them is dead. Because Ken and Esther are both dead. The secret's going to be kept. Nobody else has an answer for that quote. Well, I do. It's a perfect hint that fits right at the end of the whole solve. I could beat my head against the wall, and you people that don't see it won't see it. And I feel bad, but people are going to see that this is the solve. There is no other solve out there that will match what I have for clues, hints, proof, pictures. I have explanations for every single thing, whether they're right or they're wrong. It doesn't matter. Like, I could be wrong on the effort will be worth the cold. But I got to the end of somebody solved this, right? Somebody Forrest said was a man from the East, right? I'm just putting it out there to the people who really see this. Start backing me so we can get Jack's off his ass to admit it or put his solve out there, because he doesn't have a solve. It's stolen, folks. Jack stole the treasure chest from the spot that he heard. Bottom line, guarantee it. You prove me wrong, I'll sign my pension over to you. But I'm still waiting for somebody to take my house and truck. And don't steal it. But anyways, that's it, folks. There's more. I can post more with more clues and more hints of the first and second book that line up together. But what's it going to solve right now? I've already put it all out there. I wish Forrest Fenn's family well, and if they do happen to see my videos, because the odds are they're watching my videos out of the couple of hundred people that do watch it. At some point, it's going to take off, and people are going to say, "Holy mackerel!" Let's use that word. Holy mackerel! This guy has to solve. He's the guy who solved it, and Forrest's family sees it and just says, "Hey, we want to put this all behind us." He's the guy that solved it. He screwed up. Jack has the treasure chest. There's nothing we can do. Cut out all the lawsuits, stop it, and let's just move on with our lives. I just want to be known as the guy who solved this. I'm not suing Jack. He's an asshole, folks. What else can I say besides get shut off because of naughty words? So, folks, I hope you enjoyed this. Really, this is one of my longest videos, and I just tried to get the clues, some of the hints and clues out of the way for a better understanding. And if somebody wants to know about them, they can watch this video, which would be more explanatory than the others, because I know it's in sections, and I tried to pull it in for you to understand. And if you're really interested, watch the other videos. But this will take off, because it's true. Bottom line, I'm not going to tell any lies here. If you ask me something, I try to answer every one, every question. So let me know, folks. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope you got it. I hope you see the connection a little bit clearer now, and I hope you have a great day, and happy Mother's Day from yesterday for all those moms out there. And everybody take care. I'm Dave, the man from the East. This will probably take me 2 days to download. It is what it is. I need somebody out there that does interviewing, video. Contact me. I don't have any problem doing a video explaining everything in order, taking questions, whatever you need. I will do it. I will put this information out there for the world to see. Forrest was a good guy. He did everything just the way he said, and at the end, he didn't want the crap, man. He didn't want that. He knew what was coming. He's like, this guy has no clue who has the treasure chest of the solve. What can I do? He's 90 years old, and he knew his health was failing. I feel bad that he went through that. And Jack, you're an asshole again for doing it. But come clean now, man. All right, folks. Again, I'm going to end this. So take care. Dave, the man from the East. Have a good day.